Hey guys, what's up, people? Welcome back to yet another Sprintex series. How are you guys doing? I hope that all of your preparations are going good and you're staying strong and calm yourselves down, people. I know that it is getting a little tougher and tougher day by day. Anxiety is increasing, but please stay calm, people. It's super duper important. You're not going to get anything out of being anxious, so please make sure that you stay calm. Welcome to the session. My name is Anup, and we are back with the second last chapter of physics, calorimetry. We are left with one more chapter after this one. So, very, very warm welcome to all of you guys out there. So, let's begin, people, without wasting any more of your valuable time. Calorimetry is a very important chapter. There are a lot of topics that we've studied in the past: concept of heat and temperature, heat capacity versus specific heat capacity, principle of calorimetry, change of phase. All of these are things that we have studied. We also talked about latent heat and specific latent heat as well. So if you haven't checked out all the videos yet, if you are still not sure about this chapter, I would suggest you this: before you attempt today's session, before you attend these quiz questions, make sure that you attend the Umang series of this chapter. We have done all of these topics in detail, so make sure that you check that out. So once you get an idea of what the chapter is like and what are the things that you can do to what are the questions that you can expect from this chapter, then come back to this video and try and solve these questions for yourself, right? So that is the advice that I have for you, people. With that said, let's look into the schedule one more time, people. You are left with one more chapter. That's it. If you haven't checked out the Sprintex series yet, make sure that you check it out, guys, because time and again, even in the last year, a lot of students have actually told that a lot of questions that were asked in Sprintex appeared in their board exams as well. So it's a good practice for you guys, for all those who are looking for important questions from every chapter, where you're scrambling and trying to find out important questions. This is a very good opportunity for you guys to make use of that, because anyways, it's free. Just go ahead and do it. All you have to do is invest your time a little. That's all. So yeah, we had started with force. We are almost towards the end of it. Today will be calorimetry, which will be coming out at 5 o'clock as you guys are watching right now. Radioactivity would be coming out day after tomorrow, again at 5 p.m. So that is the end of physics. Biology is taken up by Ambika ma'am, and again, it's also nearing towards the end, so good luck with that. Then we have chemistry taken up by Anubha ma'am. This is the schedule for that as well. Please make sure that you check out all the Sprintex videos, guys, because we have put in a lot of effort to make sure that you guys are getting the best of the best questions and best of the best ways to answer those questions in the least amount of time. So make sure that you check it out, right? Anyways, English is taken up by Shweta ma'am, and then we have SST taken up by Ankara ma'am. Again, a long way to go, but then yes, there are a few more topics left out, so make sure that you check that out as well. And math is taken up by Gopal sir. Again, probability would be the last topic for that, so make sure that you keep an eye out for that. So that's it, people. That said, let's look into the homework question that I had asked you in the last session. But before we get started, guys, make sure that you take a minute, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, because there's a lot of amazing content coming your way. And yes, guys, we'll be here before your exams, after your exams, way after that as well. So make sure that you keep us at your YouTube feeds, so that you get notified of all the sessions that is coming ahead, right? So this is the homework question, guys. This was a question from 2011 board exam. This question was asked from Household Circuits Wala chapter. For all those who have not seen that video yet, make sure you check that out. So here's the question, guys. Name two safety devices which are connected to the live wire of a household electrical circuit, and give one important function of each of those two devices. The answer to this question, guys, is the two safety devices that are connected to the live wire is basically a switch and that of a fuse. So the fuse can also be replaced by an MCB. So whichever you want to go with, or you can mention all the three also. That's perfectly fine. Fuse, MCB, but yeah, generally if you have a fuse, you don't put an MCB as well. So yeah, either fuse or MCB and switches, because these are both safety devices. Now, what are the functions of them? What is the important functions of both of them? Fuse is the one that limits the current flow. It limits, so there's a certain limit beyond which the fuse will not allow the current to pass through it. Switch, on the other hand, turns off or turns on the flow of current. So basically, it keeps the circuit open or closed depending on what is the position of the switch, right? So that is the answer, guys. So these are our homework work, rockers. Aditya, unfortunately, writing the same thing again and again. It's all right, buddy, but still, make sure that you check that out. It's actually Fuse, Fuse or MCB and switches as well. Anshika, very well done, kiddo. And Pratik as well. Pratik also, I believe, he has written both Fuse and MCBs. But yeah, just that, correct that alone. But yeah, well done, guys. Good attempt, not to worry. But yeah, this is a very common mistake. But yes, if you talk about safety devices, you can mention MCBs and fuses, but you should also mention the switches as well, because they are also a safety device itself, right? Like when you, for example, before you plug in the switch, before you plug in the plug, what do? You turn on the switch, right? Because that's like the safety precaution that you take before you plug something in. So yeah, that's also safety device itself. Alright guys, moving on to the questions now. Everyone get ready. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to collect your thoughts. Be focused. All those who are watching the video right now, solve the questions with me. Put on the answer in the chat box. Put on the answer in the comment section. Comment how many of a number of times you want. 100, 200, does not matter. But make sure that you put down in the comment section as well. So the two more question. 1 minute time is what we're going to do in Sprintex. But in your exams, you can take up to 2 to 3 minutes. It's a 2019 board exam question. So you know that it's very recent. The question is this. Name the physical quantity which is measured in calories, and how is calorie related to the SI unit of the quantity? Interesting question, right? So these are the options. I also have given you options, so don't worry about it. Options are heat energy, and 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 kilojoules. Temperature, 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules. Heat energy, 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules, or none of the above. What do you guys think? Let me know what is the answer in the chat box. Let me know what is the answer in the comment section. All those who are watching the video, and yes, all those who are too lazy to type it out, think about it in your minds at least and write it on a sheet of paper, right? The answer to this question, guys, the physical quantity that is used, that is measured in calories, is definitely heat energy. Temperature is measured in terms of degrees Celsius or Kelvin and all that, but heat energy is what is the physical quantity that is measured in terms of calories. And how are they related? That is SI unit of this quantity and calories, how are they related? So 1 calorie is equal to basically 4.2 joules, right? So the answer to this question would be option number C, guys. That is heat energy, because calorie is something which is used to measure the heat energy, and 1 calorie in terms of joules is nothing but 4.2 joules, because the SI unit of heat energy is nothing but joules. So 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules, right? Easy question. I hope you guys got that correct. Please don't get these kind of questions wrong, because you are nearing towards the end. So make sure that you get all these kind of 1 mark questions correct without any kind of mistake. Again, another 2019 board exam. That means 4 questions from the same year. The question, again, 1 mark, 1 minute time. We'll try to solve it in 1 minute time. The question is, the specific heat capacity of a substance is 3800 joules per kg Kelvin, and that of a substance B is 400 joules per kg Kelvin. Which of the two substances is a good conductor of heat, and give a reason for your answer. Which do you think is a good conductor? Again, there are options, don't worry. Substance A, substance B, both are good conductors, or none of the above. Let me know what is the answer, guys. I'm going to give you the answer in... All those who are watching, just pause the video if you want to think, take your time to think about it and collect your thoughts. Pause the video and try to do it. But yes, the answer to this question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is definitely going to be substance B, people. The reason why I would go with substance number B is because it has a lower specific heat capacity. That means that it requires lesser amount of heat energy to raise the temperature. So it means that it will get hotter much more faster, in comparison to the of the body or the substance which has a higher specific heat capacity of 3800 joules per kg Kelvin. That means that you have to give a lot more heat energy in order to raise the temperature. So it's, in comparison, because the specific heat capacity of substance B is lesser, I would say that that is a better conductor compared to substance A, right? Because again, in this case, you don't require so much amount of heat energy to raise the temperature. But in the case of substance A, you require a lot more heat energy, and so it's not that of a good conductor, right? Because when you say good conductor, it has to transfer the heat energy from one end to the other as it should be able to do it as fast as possible. So the faster it does it, the better the conductor. So that is the answer, right, guys? Moving on to the third question. Here is another one for you guys. 2018 board exam, 2 mark question. So back to back, 2018 and 19. This question, there were questions asked from this chapter. Again, a 2 mark question, 2 to 3 minutes. We'll try to do in less than 1. The question is: a solid metal weighing 150 grams melts at a melting point of 800 degrees Celsius. by providing heat at the rate of 100 watts. The time taken for it to completely melt at the same temperature is 4 minutes. What is the specific latent heat of fusion of this metal? Very interesting question. Alright guys, I want everyone to try and do this question with me. I know it might take a little bit more than 1 minute because I'll have to show the calculations and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep it as short and as precise as possible just for the sake of it, right? So anyways, first of all, the mass of the object is given. Now the mass of the object is given as 150 grams. Convert that to kg, so that'll be what, 0.15 kg. That's the first thing. First thing, make sure that you do that. Now the melting point is given as 800 degrees Celsius, and the power rating is given as 100 watts. The time taken for it to completely melt is 4 minutes. So first of all, find out the energy required. That is the heat energy. So heat energy is nothing but what, or in other words, energy is what, power into time. Power is given as 100 watts, and time is given as 4 minutes. So convert that to second. How much will that be? 4 into 60. So that's how much? 4, 6, 24. So 0, 0, 0. So I can write this as, that is joules, all right? So I can write this as what, 2.4 into 10 to the power of 5 joules, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3. 24. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So I can write this 2.4 into 10 to the power of 5 joules, right? So I can write this 2.4 into 10 to the power of 5 joules, yeah. A little bit of confusion there. Anyways, so what is the specific latent heat formula, people? If you remember, the formula is quite simple. L, which is nothing but specific latent heat, is equal to Q by M. That is nothing but the heat energy required divided by the mass. Now the heat energy is given as it's nothing but H, so that's what, 2.4 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by 0.15. So if you solve this equation, you will get the answer as something like 16,000, something like that. Or is it, no, you'll get a 16,000, right? 1 second, guys. So if you calculate it, okay. I think I made some calculation, guys, here and there. 1 second. Okay, I don't think it should be 10 to the power, 2 to the power. I think it should not be, it'll be 4 joules, right? It'll be 2.4 into 10 to the power 4 joules, not 10 to the power 5 joules. So that is the mistake. I knew that I made a mistake over there. It will be 2.4 into 10 to the power 4 joules. Divided by 0.5, you'll get it as, you'll get it as what? 1.6 into 10 to the power of 5 joules per kg. Joules per kg would be the answer. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, that will be the answer. So 1.6 into 10 to the power 5 joules per kg would be the answer. Sorry for the calculation part, but yes, you get the point, people, you get the point. Sometimes we all make mistakes, a little bit more than others, but yes, that is the answer for that question. So that will be 1.6. If you divide that 2.4 into 10 to the power 4, divided by 0.15, multiply that with 100 on both the sides, simplify the equation, you get it as, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you get it as 1,60,000. We'll get it as 1,60,000, which can be written as 1.6 into 10 to the power 5 joules per kg. Okay, what was that? Okay, sorry about that, guys. I think I went to the last question apparently by mistake. Alright, so that is the answer. Moving on to the next question, people. So yeah, that is the answer for this question. Moving on to the next one. The fourth question, again from 2018 board exam. So 4 marks each year has been asked from this chapter. Again, a 2-mark question. It's a quite an easy one. The question is this: how can a temperature in degrees Celsius be converted to SI unit of temperature? Now that is a very, very easy question. You already know for that. I mean, degrees Celsius, if you want to convert, so 1 degree Celsius is equal to 273 Kelvin. So whatever the temperature is, whatever the temperature X is, add that with 273, you'll get the answer in terms of Kelvin. That's all. You'll get the answer in terms of Kelvin. That is how you convert it. Now, second part of the question. A liquid X has maximum heat capacity, maximum specific heat capacity, and is used as a coolant in car radius. What is that liquid X? You know the answer for this one as well, people. It is something that you drink every single day, not Coca-Cola. It is water. Water is the answer for this question because water has a very high specific heat capacity, and yes, that is why it is used as a coolant as well. So that's the answer, people. Let's just take a break over here, people. And yes, I have an amazing news for you guys, an exciting news for all those people who have been waiting for an opportunity to, improve yourself and get better in your exams and are scared about your exams. No matter what is running in your head as of now regarding your exams, do not worry, people, because we at Vedantu are here for you guys. So yes, guys, we have come up with the crash course for all of you people to help you guys out to get better every single day. And the courses that we are offering has so much amount of opportunities that you're going to get an opportunity to study with the best of the best teachers with on the best of the best online platform. So what you will do is basically click on the link that is given in the description, and you have to click on the option called as subscribe to Vedantu Pro's course now, and basically click on that link and enroll into the course. Let me tell you what are the advantages. That first of all, guys, it's you have unlimited live sessions in this class. So let's say that you take a 1 month subscription, you can attend how many of the sessions you want in that 1 month duration, and all of those quizzes will, all the sessions will be fun filled, and you'll have a lot of quizzes which will definitely push you to a certain limit and I know help you understand how good is your subject knowledge. And I'm really sorry about the sound, guys. There's a lot of construction work going on for the past couple of days, so please ignore that. But yeah, coming back to the topic, so as I was saying, lots and lots of quizzes, and those quizzes will help you to get better every single day. And those quizzes will also give you an opportunity to compete with the rest of the world, because you have students from all over the country, all over the world who are in those sessions, and you get a unique opportunity to see what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths in that same class. And yes, all of these sessions will be recorded, and while you're watching the recordings also, you can actually take the quiz while you're watching it and still check out the leaderboards while watching the session. So it's an interactive replay. So while watching the sessions also, you can watch, check out the, you can take the quiz and check out the leaderboards as well. With all of these, you can download all the premium content, download every single handwritten notes. Everything can be accessible for you guys. Everything is an open, it's like an open and shut book. So whatever you need, all of that will be available to you. So yes, all you have to do is open the dashboard down. You can watch on the replay. You can download all the notes, all the premium content. Everything is downloadable. With all of these, guys, you have a unique opportunity to clear your doubts in the live session. That are unlimited live classes and unlimited doubt solving in those live sessions as well, because you don't have just one teacher to help you clear your doubts. Rather, you will have a set of 2 teachers minimum to help you clear every single doubt of yours. So you'll have the master teacher and the class teacher to help you clear every single doubt. And yes, no matter how many number of doubts you have, there'll be no hesitation in that. You will get all your doubts cleared right there and then, because I know there are a lot of you guys here right now who are preparing for your exams, have a lot of doubts in your mind, and you're still struggling to find a way to get these, to solve these questions, and to get the answer for all these doubts. And there are a lot of websites out there, but then it takes a little longer. You want to get the answer right there and then, because you don't want to keep that lagging in your head. So don't worry, guys. That is also covered. And yes, for all those people who are looking to practice more and more questions to get better every single day, for you guys, we also have some amazing tests and assignments. This is for everyone, which will definitely push your limits and help you understand what are the kind of questions that you can expect from these from your boards and pre-boards. And yes, guys, yes, because these tests and assignments are going to play a very crucial role in helping you to get better and prepare yourself better for your boards. So yes, you have a unique opportunity like that as well, guys, right? So with all of these 5,000 plus micro courses and crash courses, all for free. Lots and lots of opportunities. All you have to do is click on the link that is given in the description. Let me just show you how to do it. So first thing, since you're watching the video, you already know, first thing you have to do is go to YouTube. Yeah, that's the first step, people. Once you go to YouTube, go to, let me just open up the English channel, Vedantu. Yes, let me just open up the English channel. Yes, once you open it up, click on any of the video that is there. Let me just pause that for a second right there. So click on any of the videos that's playing right now, and then go to show more. Click on this option called subscribe to Vedantu Pro right now. Once you click on the link, guys, They'll ask you which grade do you belong to. Let's say you're in 10th grade. Once you click on it, they'll ask you which board do you belong to. Let's say you're in ICC. Once you click on ICC, all the details that I just showed you, everything would be given to you guys over here. You can check out all the results, the previous year results, students getting more than 95%, 98%, 98, 97.8%. Lots and lots of students who have scored more than 95%, especially in ICC as well as CBSE. You can check out all the results. You can check out all of the testimonies as well in the session. So in the web page and see and understand how much helpful Vedantu has been to them. What you will do is then click on proceed to pay. So here's the thing, guys. For the next couple of days, only for the next couple of days, if you use the coupon code AMEPRO, you get a flat 50% discount on that 2,699 rupees, which means that the price of the courses for the next couple of days from 2,699 will be dropped down to 1,349 rupees. A never before offer at such a low price, and more importantly, you'll be getting to study and experience the whole world of online learning, and with the best of the best teachers. And yes, guys, in that 1 month duration, you would have attended about 200 sessions. That means that per session, you're just paying about 6.7 rupees, which is less than a packet of lace. Right, guys? For your own education, for your own future, for your boards, for securing the marks that you guys know in your hearts that you deserve. Right? The link in the description, Vedantu Pro subscription. Enroll now. Coupon code is AMEPRO, where the discounts, 50% discounts only for the next couple of days. So make sure that you check out that link as well. With that said, people, let's get back. Gather your thoughts. Let's get back into the topic right now. 2019 board exam, 3-mark question. So that means 4 plus 3, 7 marks from this chapter alone, guys. In 2019 alone, 7 marks was asked from this chapter. 3 to 5 minutes, 2 minutes in your Sprintex. Let's try to do it in less than 1. The question is, they have asked us to do it in 2 minutes. We'll try to do it in less than 1. Define calorimetry. Name the material used for making the calorimeter. Why is the calorimeter made up of thin sheets of the above material? Answered in question number 2. Such an easy question. It's such an easy question. It's a 3-part question, each part carrying 1 mark. What is calorimetry? Is nothing but the it's basically the measure of the heat energy absorbed or liberated. The measure of heat energy absorbed or liberated is what is called as calorimetry. That is what is calorimetry. Name the material that is used to make a calorimeter. We generally use copper to make the calorimeter, and the reason why we use copper is because why is it a thin sheet of the above material? Because it has very low specific heat capacity. It has less specific heat capacity, and this is why, guys. Because see, the reason is why you need a less specific heat capacity is because you don't want whatever the liquid is inside, or whatever the substance is inside, you don't want the walls to, or you don't want the calorimeter itself, the inner wall of the calorimeter, to absorb a lot of heat energy, because then the material, the inside matter would be losing a lot of heat energy. You don't want that. You want to conserve as much amount of heat energy inside the material or in and around the calorimeter itself, rather than the surface of it absorbing it. So the lesser the specific heat capacity, it will absorb lesser heat energy, which means that you'll get a much more accurate measurement of the heat energy. That is why we make it out of copper. As you guys already know, copper is a very good conductor of heat, and yes, that's why we use it, right? So it has small specific heat capacity or less specific heat capacity, and that's why we use the thinner sheets of that, because obviously it'll absorb lesser heat energy then. Next one, guys, 2018 board exam. Once again, 7 marks on 2018, 7 marks in 2019. 7 marks is, as you guys know, can make a big difference in your boards. So yes, people, it's a very important chapter. I can't stress it enough. 3-mark question again. The question is this: heat supplied to a solid, change it into liquid. What is the change in phase called as? Heat supplied to a solid, change it into liquid. What is the change in phase called as? Melting. This is what it is called as when solid changes into liquid, when you supply heat energy to it. That is what is melting. Now again, guys, I know I'm going a little too fast on the answers. So what you can do is basically pause the video and let me know what is the answer in the chat box as well in the comment section. Let me know what you guys feel about these questions. Let me know if you guys are finding the question too easy, if you want me to bring it up a notch, whatever it is. Let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely look out for that as well. So make sure that you comment in the comment section. Right. Second one, during the phase change, Does the average kinetic energy of the molecules of the substance increases? Yes or no? The answer, yes, people. When you give heat energy to it, the particles start to vibrate even more further. They'll start to vibrate, or they start to move more rapidly. And because of that, yes, the average kinetic energy of the molecules would also increase by a little. Next one. What is the energy absorbed during the phase change called as? So when solid is changing into liquid, that is called as latent heat of fusion. That is called as latent heat of fusion or heat of fusion. What heat of fusion, or you can call it like that also, but generally it's called as latent heat of fusion. That is what it is. So basically, latent heat of fusion is nothing but the amount of heat energy required to change the state of matter from solid to liquid. Like we gave the example of ice cube in the regular session, that an ice cube at 0 degrees Celsius, you have, when you give heat energy to it, it will turn into water at 0 degrees Celsius. So that is what is called as latent heat of fusion, the amount of heat energy required to change the state of matter from solid to liquid without the change in temperature at a constant temperature. That is what is called as latent heat of fusion. So this is also latent heat of fusion itself. Yeah, guys, that's another question. 2018, yet another question. That means 10 marks from this chapter, people. 10 marks from this chapter. 3-mark question again. It's I will try to do it in 2 minutes, but near exams you can take up to 3 minutes. The question is: state the difference between heat capacity and specific heat capacity. Give the mathematical relationship between heat capacity and specific heat capacity. Now, first of all, to answer this question, I want everyone to do this question. It's a very important one. The difference between heat capacity. State two difference on it: heat capacity and specific. Okay, wow. What spelling have I written? Try to scribble over it. One second, guys. One second. All right. Okay, this is specific heat capacity. Right. So what is heat capacity and specific heat capacity? Heat capacity is nothing but, the first difference is that heat capacity is nothing but the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a body by 1 degree Celsius. That is what is heat capacity. The amount of heat energy. I don't think I'll write it down, but you get the point, guys. The amount of heat energy required. Just note it down in your head. The amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius is what is called as heat capacity. Specific heat capacity is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of unit mass substance by 1 degree Celsius. Right? So the difference is that in both the cases you're talking about heat energy, but then in specific heat capacity we're considering the mass as well. Of a unit mass substance, how much amount of heat energy is required, that is what is called a specific heat capacity. Heat capacity is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Now the formula is quite simple, guys. If you remember the formula, it's nothing but C dash, which is nothing but heat capacity, is nothing but the heat energy required, the change in heat energy, you can say delta T by delta Q by delta T, which is nothing but heat energy divided by the temperature. Whereas specific heat capacity is nothing but C is equal to delta Q divided by M into delta T, because you're considering the mass as well. So that is the difference between specific heat capacity and heat capacity and specific heat capacity. And the second difference is that, guys, in specific heat capacity, we do not consider the mass. There is no mass considered at all in heat capacity. But when you talk about specific heat capacity, you also consider the mass as well. And once again, guys, I'm really sorry about these sounds. I can't really do much about it because, there's some renovation work going on right above my place. So they're just from morning I'm having a really bad headache right now because of this sound. It's like from morning, I think they started at somewhere around 8 o'clock and they keep on banging all day long. Alright, next one. Give a mathematical relationship between heat capacity and specific heat capacity. This is also a very simple question, guys. So first of all, write down what is the formula for heat capacity and specific heat capacity. So heat capacity, which is nothing but C dash, is equal to delta Q by delta T. Whereas specific heat capacity, C is equal to delta Q by M into delta T. Delta means nothing but change in heat energy and delta T is nothing but change in temperature. So what is C? I'm going to take this equation right now. C is equal to what? Delta Q by M into delta T. Now what is delta Q by delta T? That is nothing but C dash. So I can say that C is equal to C dash by this is the relationship between heat capacity and specific heat capacity. So specific heat capacity is nothing but is equal to heat capacity divided by the mass of the object. That's all. Yes. Yeah. Alright guys, so that is the answer for this question. So the relationship is that heat capacity. Okay, if you rearrange the equation, you'll get it as C dash is equal to C into M. So that's what they've written over here. Heat capacity is specific heat into mass of the substance. Now again guys, it's a 3-mark question, so it's better that you do this equation as well. So write down the equation, remember the formulas, put it down and just solve the answer. 2017 last question. We have one homework question after this. It's a 4-mark question, 4 to 7 minutes. We'll try to do it in less than 3. The question is this. How is the transfer of heat energy by radiation prevented in a calorimeter? If you have a choice of 3 metals, A, B and C, of specific heat capacities, 900 joules per kg degree Celsius, 300 joules per kg degree Celsius and 460 joules per kg degree Celsius respectively, to make a calorimeter, which material would you select? Justify your answer. Now the first part of the question, how do you prevent the transfer of heat energy by radiation? First of all guys, both the inner surface, the inner and the outer surface, alright, outer surface, that is the inner cylinder that you have, the inner cylinder, the outer surface of the inner cylinder and the inner surface of the outer cylinder, both of these are basically made up of reflective surface, alright, they're made up of reflective surfaces. Basically there will be a coating of some reflective surface which will basically radiate the heat back into it. So there's not much heat energy lost through radiation because of that. Secondly, there's also space between the inner cylinder and outer cylinder. There's a clear space between the inner cylinder and outer cylinder, and that space is generally filled up by insulators like wool, which would actually reduce the loss of heat energy in the case of calorimeter. So there's not much heat energy lost through convection or radiation or even through conduction as well. So you're trying to keep as much amount of heat energy as you can inside the calorimeter itself. Although it's not ideal, eventually obviously there'll be some sort of interaction happening with the surrounding, but yes, it is very much effective to some extent. So first is this one, it is made of a reflecting surface. Secondly, there's a clear space between the inner cylinder and outer cylinder, and that space is basically vacuums. There'll be air particles present, and as you guys know, air is an insulator. And yes, apart from that, it also has some wool also placed into it. Now the second part of the question, you have a choice of 3 metals, A, B and C, of specific heat capacity 900. Okay, out of this guys, I would go with option metal number B. The reason why I would go with metal number B is that it has low specific heat capacity. So because it has low specific heat capacity, it will not absorb too much amount of heat energy. It will not absorb too much amount of heat energy from the material itself. It will not require so much of heat energy to raise the temperature. So it will not you will not lose a lot of heat energy in increasing the temperature of the material itself, the calorimeter itself. So the best option would be to go with option number B, because in comparison to all the three, B would be the one which has the least specific heat capacity, 300 joules per kg degree Celsius. Sorry. So yes, that would be the one that I would go with, because it has, it does not absorb a lot of heat energy, right? So that is the answer, guys. I am really sorry about this sound. I know that it's super irritating, but what to do, guys? Life, zindagi ne itna gum diye. Well done, people. So that is it. That is the end of calorimeter as well. This is your homework 2016 board exam. The question is, state 2 factors upon which the heat absorbed by a body depends on. Let me know what is the answer in the comment section. Let's see who gets it the fastest. Thank you for joining, people. That's it from my side. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. I will not irritate you guys anymore. The next session will be on radioactivity, which will be coming out day after tomorrow. So look out for that. Thank you for joining, guys. See you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon as well. Thank you for joining. See you guys soon. Bye bye. See ya.